It's been a year since I decided to study money in this part of the world here in Ghana, and also understand how I could make use of money and build wealth and start generational wealth as well. So it's been a year and I've learned a lot of things like money has to do with emotions more than we think. I think 50% of you working and 50% of your emotions can make you money or make you not know where your money is coming from. Yeah. Hi my people, it's your girl Miss Mailiana here again with another video. I would want to apologize for being away for a long time and not being consistent. As I am here, we are going to work on the consistency and bring you more real life stories, life updates, vlogs, and all of you. But more importantly, this each videos is going to promote self-development in both finance, career. I've been mentioning all this like a lot, yes, because these are major topics surrounding our growth as we get into adulthood. And these videos, the couple of series the couple of episodes I'm coming to release are just a flashback of how I started a year ago. So a year ago, I started the Leicester show, and from the Leicester show, I realized that our finances aren't really like we aren't taught financial literacy that much. So I decided to learn about finance, or I was even directed to learn about finance, and so far so good. You can even see some new improvements. Yes, and so let's get into it. We are going to be doing 5 questions for each episode, so we know that we have actually had a full flashback on how we started a year ago and how we'll be going from this year onwards. Yeah, so let's get into the video. All right, so I have multiple questions I came up with to reflect on how far I have come and to know where we are heading. So a year ago, in May 2023, I just decided to start shooting YouTube videos, asking questions. I was serving my nation at then. But now I am done serving my nation. I work a while and all that. And here we are trying to reflect on how far we've come and how how we see money, and how I see money, and how it has changed my life, or have I been able to accomplish something. So the first question, what inspired me to start studying financial literacy in May? First answer is the Holy Spirit. I'm a church girl. I'm God's child. Yeah, I like to call myself God's child. And one of my theme for this year is me plus God. So yeah, first and foremost, I was directed by the Holy Spirit. How did it happen? So April, May, June of 2023, I lost myself, and a major part was with finance. So I could clear my account to help a family member, to help the family, to help a beloved one without thinking. Here, I'm trying to say that I help, and I help too much. So money that is supposed to maybe help me, or I have to save for myself or to get something for myself, I don't think twice, then I give it out. So at a point, I had clear my accounts to help a family member or get something for a beloved. Like, I had cleared all my accounts. And so now I need to eat. And I was left with the only option of borrowing. And I was like, this is not supposed to be so. So I was frustrated and I said, okay, let me ask people or let me ask my colleagues if they are also in this stage. And I was serving my nation and I wasn't being paid at that time. And I had changed to change my workplace to another place to just make sure I can be having monthly income. Then I realized anytime I ask questions about how was your stay when you were serving the nation, and it's the same thing. You are going to have financial problems whereby you are going to be borrowing from friends or family to get to work and and also to like buy food and all that. And when you get any allowance, you pay back, and then that's how it's going to be like. So I was like, if this is how it's going to be like, then that means I'm not going to stop feeling how I'm feeling. I'm going to always have nothing to my name. Um, so I decided to go to God, who I know, like, He's the only person I know can help me find a solution. So I spent 30 days worshiping God without asking him anything because at that point, if I opened my mouth to pray, I didn't know what to say. So I just kept praying, worshiping God. If I come back from home or from work around 7:30 p.m., I skipped because I know I didn't want to go into the depression. So I had to create excite my hormones by exercising. So I exercise, then I go straight into worship God till I fall asleep. So most of the time I worship God till like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then I just cry my eyes out and then sleep through it. And between the day 28, 27, thereabout, I got a revelation on what to do. So it came to me that I have to study what money is, how to make money, and how to keep growing money. And like I had to learn it, and I had to make sure that I have topics about my life, study my life, and know the topics I have to learn anytime. And money was the most important thing. So that's how it started for me. Question number two: how would I describe my financial knowledge and habits before I began my journey? I'll describe I would describe my financial knowledge and habits as I knew it but I didn't know it. Does that make sense? I knew I had to save money for emergency purposes. I knew when I need something I have to save to get it. I knew I had to invest, and I knew that I had to invest in businesses. So anytime I am taking money for a meeting for my agency, my talent agency, it felt like an investment. I knew all of that, but I didn't know the structure around all this. I didn't know that when I save money, there are different types of saving to it. There's personal payments. You pay yourself every month when you earn something. There is saving for rent, saving for how amenities or expenses, yes. And then there's saving for emergency purposes, and then there's saving for investment. So I didn't understand it that way because I save my money, but then at the end of the saving, I share it and I don't get any. I don't know if I make sense because immediately my little sister calls that, oh, I need this for that, I need this for that. And then she will even emotionally blackmail you, and then I just said everything, or even not try to understand, oh, maybe you don't need this now, just get this. I just sent everything to her. So I saved, but I couldn't see it. So I knew it, but I didn't know it. Does that make sense? Yes. And I'll also say on a scale of 10, I knew about money 5%. I didn't know about the 5%. And most of the time, no, on the scale of 10, sorry. So I knew about five. I didn't know about five. I knew about 50%. I didn't know about 50%. And from a year back of, as of now, I'll say that 50% was more of emotions. And I didn't really want to get into that emotions because I thought that would be more selfish. Yes, so that's how I'll describe my financial habits or knowledge before the journey, May 2023. Okay, so question number 3. So, what are the most important concepts you have learned about financial literacy? The first thing is pay yourself. That's what I have learned. Pay yourself, and that payment is not meant for spoiling yourself. Like, I'm paying myself, so I'm going to get a new hair. I'm paying myself, so I'm taking myself on a date. No, not that. That payment is supposed to work for you to earn more money. That's what that's the most important concept I've like grabbed, and I took that from the richest man in Babylon. That's that. So now it's like, if I earn in a month, I pay my tithes. After paying my tithe, that's 10%. The next 10% is my payment. And that 10% goes into one of my investment accounts. And I don't touch it no matter what. If I want to buy toothpaste, I'm not going to touch it. If I want to buy new hair, I'm not going to touch it. That money is for business. So it's for business whereby the business grows and now comes to pay me. So that's the most important concept I've learned so far since last year. Okay, question number 4. Okay, so can you share a significant moment or your turning point in your financial education? Actually, my turning point was last May 2024. I'm taking this recording in June, so last May during my birthday. So I have been trying to keep up with fellowshipping with God, getting to know God and all that. So one thing, and also the theme I came into 2024 with was growing into perfection, because 2 plus 5 is 7, and 7 means perfection. And also the next theme was me plus God, because I realized that being under Him, everything is no stress at all. You don't have to worry about anything. So I took those themes, and as I was trying to see what I would do to celebrate my birthday, I realized something, that most of the time you have to celebrate yourself. Where we find ourselves, you have to celebrate yourself before someone celebrates you. What do I mean by that? Because on a normal, there's now a normal thing that if it's your birthday, everybody wants to see a new picture. So you have to go to the studio, like have a photo shoot and all that. But this time around, last year I didn't do it because I wasn't financially okay. But this time around, I really didn't want to do it because I was like, it's not a waste of money. But I was fellowship with God, and the Holy Spirit brought it into my heart that if you don't celebrate yourself, who will celebrate you? And put it in the context that you are celebrating yourself in a form of celebrating God, because you are His image. So I was like, okay, so this time around, I'm going to celebrate myself. And in that process, I went on the memory lane, trying to see what I have done and all that. And I realized that I have businesses or business ideas or businesses that I have started, like startups that I have started that will blow. And I was like, oh, okay. Because one thing I realized is that in Ghana, investing in the government bonds is very risky. In fact, you may think, oh, I'm investing it for the next 10 years, hoping that in the next 10 years you make some money. But in fact, you're already owing as a citizen. So imagine the next thing. Like, you won't even sleep. Even if your savings account and the money's in your savings account, you're not sleeping in them bonds. So I didn't trust bonds. I didn't trust treasury bills. I didn't trust, like, the stock market is a good one, but I like there's not much talk about stock market here in Ghana. So I was like, okay, then the next thing is business. So I had already started MTB agency, a talent agency I'm working on. Like it's on a go. It's a startup, but then we are working. Um, okay, so what's next? Then I realized that um three 2 months ago I started my hair care line, and now I am in the middle of launching another one, May Fruits, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know I could do this. So in a nutshell, I don't see money in my accounts that much, but I see something I'm creating, and all thanks to God. So that's my turning point. My turning point is realizing that I am building something uniquely for me with my name, and my work can be seen. And all the work I put in, my money, my time, my knowledge, everything is being seen. Like, that's my turning point. I'm not going back. No, that's turning point. It's really amazing when I decided to celebrate myself in the small way I can. Like, it's so amazing. Yeah. So the final question for this episode is, what books or resources have have been most impactful in my learning? very the very first book I read when I started this journey of learning financial literacy was The Richest Man in Babylon. That changed my mindset about money. That made me know that if I pay myself, it's not that I'm paying myself to go to the beach, or I'm paying myself to go for lunch, or I'm paying myself to get a new wig, or I'm paying myself to get a new dress. All that are expenses, not payment. My payment is supposed to be an investment that that um my payment is supposed to pay me back. You get me? So it's supposed to yield more results. And so from last year May till this year February March, I had paid myself 2,000 CDs, almost 3,000 CDs. And so it's not I it's small. So like in cumulation, 2,000, almost 3,000 CDs. So now what will I use that money for? That's when I started the Me Hair Care line. I had my first production done, and we are still in sales, but I had my first production done with that money, and now the like it's becoming a brand. It's becoming something dear to my heart, and it's amazing. So that's what like I really took from The Richest Man in Babylon. The next thing I used to do, I am now used to, is listening to podcasts about health, podcasts about sales, podcasts about marketing, branding, like podcasts about business wise, podcasts about money. Like, I'm listening to the podcast each and every time. And now my uncle also introduced me to a local based um how should I put it? Is he a public speaker or financial experts in Ghana? So more of the local stuff, because I've been listening to the foreign stuff. So now listening to the foreign stuff and listening to the local stuff, joining it together. You know what I'm saying? So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I really do listen to a lot of podcasts. I think I'll start a podcast review show soon, because like it has impacted my life, and I want to create a community that also crave to talk about these things. You get. The other book I read, I'm still reading, is Psychology of Money. That's when I'm realizing that more money is more of emotions. And then the final book I'm reading, so I'm not a good reader, but I'm trying my best to read. So the other book I read was Atomic Habits. And the amazing habit I joined to my routine was walking. I love to walk more now. And I love to exercise. I like fitness, but I'm not consistent with fitness. But I was like, let me start with walking. And now, like, in a day, if I don't walk, it's like a taboo. Yes. So this has come, we've come to the end of this episode of A Year After. It's episode one of A Year After. Um, please subscribe to this channel, share this video, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that Miss Mailiana is talking about her journey and it's amazing. Tell a friend to tell another friend to tell another friend that let's support Miss Mailiana. Alright, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, leave a comment on anything about what I have said, any questions, and I would love to communicate with you. Thank you so much for watching, and